Приветствую всех, кто
I welcome
сейчас
everyone
видит
who is watching us today.
эту программу. Приветствую всех заранее,
Greetings
всех
to
тех, кто
everyone
будет
who will be
смотреть эту
watching this
программу,
program, this
эту
transmission,
передачу, в прямом смысле
literally,
передачи.
the transmission.
Я хочу сказать, что к нам обращаются сейчас все новые и
I would
новые
like to say that
духовно
more and
ищущие
more
люди и
spiritual
просят о
seekers
том,
keep coming to
чтобы
us and asking me to explain how to step
объяснить,
onto the spiritual
каким
path
образом
and
вообще
start to
начать
practice.
духовный путь, практику. И это очень радует,
This is
это
very
очень
encouraging.
приятно, что
It is very gratifying that the
меняется,
world is changing.
меняется
The
сознание,
consciousness
меняются
is
люди, есть
changing. People are
устремление,
changing. There
пробуждается
are
это
aspiring people.
мощная
An
сила
immense power
устремления.
of aspiration awakens in
И
people.
мы решили посвятить сегодня именно эту
This
медитацию,
global
так сказать,
meditation is
глобальную
intended to
медитацию
make it
тому,
clear
чтобы
for you
объяснить,
what to
с
start
чего
with.
начать, и повторить для тех, кто уже
And
практикует
long-term
достаточно давно,
practitioners
повторить,
will review the
как
methods of
правильно
energizing the body
энергизировать
in a
тело
sitting
и
posture.
ум. В данном случае небольшое
A small
вступление для тех,
introduction for
кто
those who have just
только-только
started their
встал на путь
spiritual
или
journey
хочет
or
начать
want to start
практиковать.
practicing.
Он чувствует, что, или она чувствует,
They feel
что
that they need it, and it's the
уже
right
пора,
time
и
to
что
start.
есть необходимость, это внутренний зов, когда душа начинает
It is an inner call when the soul is awakening, waking up, or is woken up. It starts to demand realization from the person.
Как правило, ум
As a rule, the mind switches this energy to the outer world.
И здесь очень важно
Here,
понять,
it is very important to understand that the power of intention opens up tremendous opportunities. The power that sustains your existence, the existence of all of us, is limitless, peaceful, but very formidable. Let's call it the universal power. It's within us.
Она внутри нас. И здесь очень важно понять, что эта сила намерения,
Here, it is very important to understand that the key element of the spiritual practice is the power of intent that you define for yourself as a call, as conscience, as a possibility to hear what the Creator expects from us, what the universe expects from us. On a large scale, meditation serves only one purpose. It aims at making you hear this inner call. Today, I'll explain how we can get in tune with it. I'll speak about the basic principle. I don't mean that it is simple and one must turn to something else as soon as they have mastered this principle. No, it's the basic, fundamental, major principle which our consciousness relies on. It's your body, the crystallization of your mind in the body. It's the mind itself, this higher power, this universal power that is crystallized in the body temple. I mean that our body is the temple of the Creator, the temple of our higher self, the temple of the universal power, of the limitless, universal supermind. It's very important that meditation, you will succeed in it if you have gained the correct understanding, first of all. It doesn't even matter if you do it correctly or not. What matters here is that you understand it. The mere understanding leads us to success and prosperity and opens up new opportunities. Not only in the outer world, but first of all, in the inner environment. This is a very important point. This is the initial stage for you to rise. Of course, the external attributes must reflect your inner state. For example, you want to meditate, but you are in an uncomfortable place where you cannot feel the space properly, where you cannot immerse yourself. People sometimes say that there are walls in their way, or some images bother them, or whatnot. You should find a place where you feel comfortable. When meditating, you close your eyes and sit in the correct posture. It would be good to prepare the place you are in for your spiritual practice. If possible, you should find your own place where you can enter a state of peace and quiet. It would be right. Your clothes should be suitable for practice. It's better that these clothes... I'm trying to depict an ideal situation. However, I don't know if you have this opportunity, and in any case, it's up to you to decide. For example, I hardly ever had this opportunity. However, we are always able to get whatever we want. Your clothes must inspire you to practice spiritually. They must be an extension of your powerful spiritual flow. They must be your spiritual corselet that protects you and helps you enter a state of peace and quiet through inspiration. It would be great if your clothes were made of natural materials, fabrics. In winter, it is very advisable to wear a woolen sweater or shirt, or even better, a hooded mantle. When the weather is hot, you can put on knitwear, linen or cotton clothes. But the best choice is silk clothing, like a silk shirt or a silk mantle, whatever you like. Ideally, you should wear these clothes during meditation. In fact, by and large, it's not all that important. What matters here is your state of mind, attunement, and inner affirmations you work with. This is something I will expand on in a minute. The mat I am sitting on is made of wool. It would be nice if this mat was made of wool, or you could use a pelt. In the long run, the one who owned this pelt before may be content with how it is used. Just kidding. But in reality, it may foster evolution to some extent, if you are thankful to the animal whose skin you are using. I'm not a supporter of using animal skins. But in today's world, we wear leather shoes, etc. I'm not going to nitpick over these details now. However, please remember that it's always better to be closer to nature. Okay, let's go back to meditation. The room in which you will meditate must be lit, as much as possible, by the powerful and sublime radiance that comes from your pure consciousness, from your pure mind. My point is that a place for meditation needs to be cultivated. The clothes you wear mustn't constrain your movements. They may be made of natural, non-toxic materials. Don't wear synthetic clothing. Correspondingly, the external attributes. Many people ask if they should put on music or burn incense. If you want to relax, you can put on pleasant music that inspires you. If you want to relax, you can put on the light that will accelerate your relaxation or burn incense sticks, for example. But if we want to deepen our practice, it's better to create an atmosphere where you could switch your 5 basic senses off. Vision, smell, hearing, touch, and taste that connect us to the outside world. Because these are the 5 telephones, the 5 channels that connect you to the outer world and hinder you in your efforts to enter a state of peace and quiet. That's why I always say that those who want to practice a professional approach to meditation do not burn sticks, do not put on music, do not use other things that could shift their attention to the outer world. We are engaged in turning off the 5 senses. Only then will you be able to enter a state of peace and quiet, immerse in yourself, and finally, after some time of practicing, meet your higher self face to face. If you need to relax and attune yourself before meditation, then yes, you can burn incense sticks or put on music. But when you meditate, it's better not to use them and put everything away, because these things will distract you. Again, when you want to focus on your higher self and you sense a pleasant fragrance that may even lull you, calm you, you feel pleased, but your senses of hearing, taste, smell, touch are wide awake. and you can't handle it. You don't let yourself enter a state of peace and quiet. Well, next, what is important at the initial stage? As I have already said, it's the power of intention. What is important? The purpose of life. What is important? Understanding the goal of your practice. How does practice enable you to achieve this realization? What does it take to realize how important it is to practice nowadays? You must be motivated. How to practice? I shall explain. What's the goal of your practice? You must decide for yourself. What is the purpose of life? What are you living for? It's your decision. It's your understanding. They are unique to everyone. But I can judge from my experience that essentially people want one and the same thing. They need a sense of blissfulness, joy, security, happiness, longevity. They want to attain a high degree of awareness, long life, and bliss. This is what I wish for every one of you. Sat means the truth. Chit means consciousness. Being. Anandam means blissfulness. If we strive for the truth when practicing Kriya, and the truth merges with the pure mind, the consciousness will grow into blissfulness. In this way, you attain moksha dharma, the liberation in this lifetime. For this, we have a very important tool that sustains our existence. At the beginning, this tool, as a rule, is no friend of ours. I am speaking about our mind. At the beginning, it is not a friend to us. It fights against us. We fight against it. We experience difficulties because our mind is dirty and casts shadow on us. We must work with it. How to work with the mind? I show the techniques of energizing and understanding how our mind transforms and what to do with it. The philosophical part may be the most important. It requires us to take a prompt decision and be quick in understanding. I have already said that the power of intention in the name of the life purpose and everything related to it. We tailor our whole life to a higher purpose. Then we will achieve all this. Be in the world, but not of the world. If our mind is an important tool, we must transform and redesign it. Therefore, in order to do it, we must use Kriya Yoga methods. Here we come to how we can quickly transform our mind. Today, an average person's mind is poisoned. Poisoned with the information that was being recorded to our mind from the moment we were born. It requires transformation. We are hypnotized with what we think is important and correct nowadays. But actually, it appears that these things are not very useful for us or totally unuseful. We encounter a lot of destructive information. We encounter a lot of destructive dogmatic assertions. A lot of systems or forces that form an entire conceptual framework of beliefs. All of them need to be revised. The practice of Kriya is unique as it is all-embracing. It works at the levels of the mind, brain transformation, and restructuring of neural connections. You get the opportunity to work with your own consciousness, with your own brain, toward a wholesome attitude towards yourselves. Towards you directly. Contemporary psychologists and many scientists say that our brain is a contradictory phenomenon. It kills us, shortens our life, and causes various diseases. It's because our beliefs are wrong. All these programs are stored in our subconscious mind. That's why we activate our superconscious mind to consciously join these two poles together and transform our mind through overall transformation, through reprogramming our subconscious mind and activating our positive programs. All these are elements of meditation and energization in general. This is Kriya Yoga, Kriya Babaji. One more important thing. I often talk about the fact there are so many directions of Kriya Yoga now. Our direction of Kriya Yoga is connected to the elite cosmic method of transformation given by Babaji, an immortal Himalayan yogi who lived many thousands of years in the same body. He is still here. He gave this teaching to Lahiri Mahasaya, and Lahiri Mahasaya gave it to many teachers. It's the teaching I have just told you about. That scientific outlook on the consciousness transformation up to the transformation of cellular consciousness at the cellular level was already taught back then. Now I am applying a more social, more scientific approach for you to understand that it's not a religion, but a spiritual practice. This is what differentiates our school from many other conventional branches that worship demigods and different aspects of deities. That's not bad. It may be right from the traditional point of view, but our contemporaries want to understand what cosmic consciousness is, so we must move from purely religious elements to spiritual ones. We try to awaken spiritual qualities in ourselves. This is very important. It's important for you to understand that no religion is better than another. They all form a single foundation for our consciousness to grow. Today, all religions in their essence are effective tools for those on a religious journey. You rise above it and move towards cosmic consciousness. You start to understand that everything is one. All people are one. All are sisters and brothers. You must understand that we have consciousness, higher or sublime consciousness, that helps us realize the principle of unity. In the first place, it happens within us. Then we won't have any conflicts or disagreements with the rest of the world. They may be at a lower level, proving its point. So be it. Doesn't matter. To accept everything is an element of the spiritual practice. Acceptance is the most important aspect in our practice, in Kriya. If our attitude to whatever happens is positive, we try to be aware of it while uniting this world and the entire universe inside of us together. For this, we change our consciousness and our attitude. So we must dehypnotize our brain and mind to erase all patterns that we developed or that were imposed on us. That's why we sometimes act illogically when practicing. We do things that don't always happen or are used in everyday life. We change the attitude to the world. We change the attitude to this body. I'm going to show it to you and explain the essential principle of gradual immersion of your mind into body. It's very important that you understand, especially those who have just started. It's important for you to understand that the most important question is the purpose of your life. Based on it, you will accumulate this transcendental power and this energy. You will be given this energy, the power of aspiration through the expression of the higher power of intention. You act to reach your life purpose. Because Kriya is an action that you perform in a conscious state, being aware as much as possible. If you do it mechanically, it's not Kriya. Kriya Babaji is an evolutionary, elite school that can unite all teachings and directions to bring you to cosmic consciousness within a certain number of years in accord with your practice. It all depends on how determined you are. If you are really determined, it will happen in a relatively short period of time, say within 5 to 10 years at most. But we are talking about cosmic consciousness. If you are not very determined and prefer to prioritize the outside world, it will take you a lifetime, but even that is a good thing. Any Kriya practitioner. Kriya is a holy science. Any practitioner of the scientific approach to the knowledge of God or self-realization, to the knowledge of this sublime truth inside themselves, will in the long run be there. Because on your way, you reap the harvest that will be very hard for you to give up, as it makes you feel joy and happiness while the journey continues. As you are already becoming a cosmic person and start to understand that you are not an ordinary individual who is afraid of everything that is going on in nature, in life, but you are part of the divine plan. You are a part and parcel of God. You become a person who understands it and cooperates with Him to some extent.
Вот такое вот маленькое для начала базовое вступление.
It was a small introduction for you to understand how important it is to view this practice from a philosophical aspect and gain a personal understanding of it. Let's begin our practice. I'll explain how to energize your body in a sitting posture. I will show you the basic principles, where to start, and how to immerse the consciousness within yourself. Sit so that you feel your spine is straight. Relax your shoulders. If it's hard for you to sit up straight, you can place a pillow under you to be seated a bit higher. You can also sit on a low stool if it is comfortable for you. Keep your legs according to your comfort. You can sit on the edge of a chair, but beware of sliding off the chair and hurting yourself when you enter a deep state. These things can happen. Some people may feel dizzy or fall asleep while meditating, which is also part of the immersion for starters. Try not to fall. It's possible, on the edge of a chair. In this case, I'm sitting like this. If it's hard for you, you can stretch your legs forward. If your legs get numb or your knees hurt, you can stretch your legs and relax them from time to time, and then pull your legs towards you and go on with your practice. Your back should be as straight as possible. Keep your chin parallel to the floor or slightly higher. This is very important. When you lower your head, tilting it extremely forward, you cause cervicothoracic strain. You put strain on the narrow channel of the throat center and lock it. The energy will not pass well. In order to let the energy rise to your head via your spine, take care of your cervical spine cord. You must work with it. We'll do it together. Now keep your chin parallel to the floor or slightly higher, so as you feel no blocks. Relax your shoulders and chest. You can bend slightly forward. Relax the muscles of your belly. Relax your diaphragm. The diaphragm is engaged in every breath. It moves either downward or upward. When you inhale, your belly comes outward. This is a very important point. When you inhale and your belly comes outward, it's the correct way to breathe. Your diaphragm moves downward. When you exhale, your belly comes back in and your diaphragm moves upward slightly, tightening itself. When your stomach is relaxed, this is a proper way to breathe. Your belly comes outward when you breathe in. It comes back in when you breathe out. Outward, breathe in. Inward, breathe out. It's a Buddhist breathing technique. Now, when we are energizing our body, we don't pay much attention to breathing, but you must know how to breathe properly. Let me explain why it's a proper way to breathe. When you breathe in, your prana moves downward. At this moment, your diaphragm moves downward, and your belly comes outward. You lower the energy down. When you breathe out, apana moves upward. When you breathe in and out, prana and apana meet. If the diaphragm is engaged, these two energies merge. If you breathe with your chest, prana cannot move down as it should. When your breathing is incomplete, I'm not speaking about complete yoga breathing. There are people who don't breathe in a proper way. They breathe with their chest, plus tighten their belts. This is very harmful. Therefore, prana doesn't move downward. Human centers are damaged, and the person lacks energy. The belt meridian is under tension. This is bad for your health, so try to breathe properly. It was about the correct basic posture. Put your hands in your lap or on your thighs so they don't distract you. If you keep your hands with your palms up, they won't distract you. If you keep them with your palms down, your sensitive fingers and palms will feel friction, transmit signals to the brain, and it will be hard for you to relax. Keep your hands with the dorsal side against your knees or thighs and forget about them. Let your arms hang loose this way. Okay, we are seated, our shoulders are relaxed, our chest is relaxed, our abdomen is relaxed, our arms are hanging loose. Eyes, this is very important. Eyes are closed. And here it's important that you look up at a 45-degree angle under the closed eyelids. When you close your eyes, fix the gaze at a 45-degree angle. When you open your eyes, they still look up. You can check yourself from time to time. Close your eyes and keep gazing upward. Open your eyes, but don't shift your gaze. It's very important not to strain your eyes when you look upward. Don't raise them to the maximum possible extent. At the beginning, you may have headaches. Your eye muscles may get tired because you strain them. This is why some people may experience nausea. It's a sickening condition that occurs when you raise your eyes too high. When you enter a state, you will feel comfortable to keep your gaze as high as possible. It's your energy that decides, because this is a reasonable power. The Creator Himself is within us. It's Him who decides, but you need to prepare. Give Him the possibility to express Himself. So now keep the gaze up at a 45-degree angle. Fix it upward at a 40 to 50 centimeter distance within your arm's reach. Close your eyes. Fix the gaze at a 45-degree angle. Open your eyes. They are still looking at the same point. During practice, try to keep your eyes upward with closed eyelids. If you feel your eyelids slightly open and you see the outer world, don't worry. But if you see images of the outer world, it means your eyes are looking forward. Check yourself. Raise your eyes. Let me show you how it may be. This is how eyes that are raised up high look like. You don't see anything, however your eyelids are slightly open. You can see the whites of my eyes, nothing more. My eyes are raised very high. Only long-term practitioners are capable of it. It's very important to keep your gaze raised. Now, the tongue. Curl the tip of the tongue backward. This is called small Kichari Mudra. Kichari Mudra is a separate topic that implies a very serious practice. I have spoken about it many times already. You can find a related video on YouTube. Now just try to understand that the tongue you move backward has a special mission within us. Our tongue and our eyes shape a new way of thinking. It's because they make our brain function differently. Our neurons, neural networks start to reprogram and function differently. Our brain becomes different. You get more energy, more opportunities. Consequently, what needs to be done? When we keep the tip of the tongue in an ordinary position, we lose the life force. Because in this position, the tongue is not connected to the central channel. But here, you raise the tongue and move it backward along the upper palate as far as possible, trying to reach the nasopharynx. Consciously keep the tongue rolled back throughout the practice. If you feel that your tongue, this muscle, is tired, relax it and return it to an ordinary position, then fold it back again. When you feel that the energy flow is very powerful, it will be easy for you to hold your tongue rolled back and your gaze raised upward. You will be comfortable in this body. When your body is perceived by you as energy, it is comfortable to live in that body. When your body seems heavy to you, when you have unpleasant sensations, emotions, thoughts, all of them are bodies too. Emotions represent your emotional body. Thoughts represent your mental body, your physical body. It all has a big impact on our instrument. By the way, it's our mind that does it. It is then uncomfortable to live in this body. But when you perceive your body temple as the temple of God, of the Creator, of the limitless power, of the universal supermind, it is the temple of the supermind. And you are not some separate part of it. You are a real parcel of it. Then the world changes. This is the beginning of energization. So, let's sit straight and raise our eyes upwards. Roll your tongue back without strain. Keep it rolled back consciously, but without much strain. Try to feel your body temple in this position. It is very important for you to perceive your body temple from the inner perspective, while feeling your posture is correct. It is very important to sit in a correct posture. When you follow all basic principles of Kriya Babaji meditation, the energy will circulate or flow and the energy channels will be successful. Take a few deep breaths to feel that when you breathe in, your belly comes outward. Record this pattern. When you breathe out, your belly comes inward, rather slightly, but quite noticeably. Feel it moving outward and inward. Take a few free breaths. Try not to strain other body parts while keeping the correct posture. Put a light smile on your face. There's such a thing as an inner smile. It's when you smile to yourself from within. However, shape your lips into a light smile. It will make your consciousness calmer. Enjoy the practice. Enjoy the opportunity. Enjoy the posture you sit in. As I often say during seminars, the correct geometry of space, or the correct body posture, will ensure effective energy flow through the channels. When you sit straight in a correct position, keeping your gaze upward and your tongue rolled back, when you are aware that you are practicing, that you are the sublime consciousness that is present here and now in this body temple, and focus on this sublime idea, you awaken special energies and qualities that eliminate whatever is negative within us.
Вы пробуждаете качество, которое устраняет негатив внутри нас. К сожалению, он пока есть.
Unfortunately, negativity is still here. I'm speaking about 5 sinful character traits that you get rid of very easily when you practice the holy science of Kriya. When I speak about the holy science of Kriya, I mean a sacred act that we perform in achieving unity with our higher selves.
В направлении достижения единства со своим высшим Я. Сюда входит энергизация,
It includes energization in a sitting or standing posture, breathing meditation, various pranayama techniques, Kriya Kundalini pranayama. All of them together help us attain self-realization in our higher selves, or in God, within a relatively short period of lifetime.
В высшем Я или в Боге, как об этом говорят.
Some people use the word God, others prefer to call it the universal mind or supermind.
Кому-то ближе универсальный разум, сверхразум. Это дело лично каждого.
It's up to you.
Знайте, что эта сила живая.
Just know that this is a living force, immortal power that is always present, here and now.
И почувствовать ее можно тогда,
You can feel it when you sit in a correct position. Eventually, meditation happens and samadhi happens. For this, we must create certain conditions. Now, while holding your eyes raised and your tongue rolled back, feel your forehead. Can you feel the forehead? Try. Feel it physically. Breathe freely. Keep your shoulders down. Relax your chest and stomach. Switch your attention to the sensation of your forehead in this space. You may notice that if you closely observe this sensation in your forehead, for example, when you want to concentrate, your breathing sort of stops for some time. The more concentrated you are, the less you need to breathe. This is the secret of realization. The power of concentration allows you to go beyond the mind. Because when our breathing naturally stops, the mind also stops naturally. Feel your forehead, keeping the gaze upward and the tongue rolled back. Let your hands rest in your lap or on your thighs. Feel the forehead and the surface of your head. Just physically feel the top of your head. Nothing else is needed. Here, you start to think, what's next? What's the purpose of it? Why? Etc. The mind tries to lead you astray, to disrupt your concentration. Your task is just to feel, nothing else. Feel the surface of the head. Realize that the surface of the head, the top of the head, is the center of the highest power. You feel this power. Thanks to this power, you are able to feel. Now feel the back of your head. Just feel the back of your head as you can. There's nothing complicated, supernatural about it. But the mechanisms that enable you just to feel the back of your head are amazing. Once again, feel the forehead, the surface of your head. the back of your head. Keep your gaze raised upward and your tongue rolled back. Try to push the tongue even farther. Breathe freely. Don't pay attention to it. But if you start to think about your breath, remember that you must breathe properly. It means that when you inhale, your belly comes outward, and when you exhale, it comes back in. Your breathing becomes more and more shallow because you shift your attention to your forehead, back of the head, top of the head. Be focused on your forehead, the surface of the head and the back of the head as you can. Pay attention. That's when you stay fully focused during a second or several seconds. Your breathing freezes. Your power of concentration will grow with every practice. Well, now feel your forehead. Move your fingers from the center of your forehead to the sides, pressing them slightly and thus flattening your skin. Feel the center. Move your fingers to the sides. Feel your forehead. Remember these sensations. Do it consciously as if you were doing it for the first time. Even if you have done it many times already, do it as if it's for the first time. Remember these sensations. Flatten the skin on your forehead, reaching the temples, the temporal lobes. Lower your hands. Return to starting position. Try to feel your forehead again. Now it's easier because you remember the sensations that you have just created. Let your brain remember these sensations. Consciously keep your gaze raised upward. Consciously hold the tongue rolled back. We keep our back straight. Gaze into the space on the other side of your closed eyelids. Feel the forehead. Now, shift your attention to the top of your head, the surface of your head. Feel it again. Remember these sensations. Now, press your fingers against your scalp and rub them, moving your scalp to the right, the left, forward, backward, the top of your head. Create sensations when pressing. Remember these sensations. Be aware of the power concentrated in this area. It exists in the form of the surface of your head. Lower your hands, return to starting position, and feel the top of your head. Feel the surface of your head. You can notice that now it's much easier. Because there's a sensation, remember these sensations. Let your brain record this sensation. You can notice that now it's easier to focus on your forehead, top and surface of your head, and that the concentration is deeper. Do the same for the back of the head. Feel the back of the head and run your fingers on the back of the head, putting some pressure upon it, moving your scalp to the right, to the left, forward, backward, circular movements. Remember these sensations. Let your mind get accustomed to your body. Let your mind learn to feel the body parts. In our case, they are the forehead, back of the head, and spine. Lower your hands. Return to starting position. Try to feel the back of your head. You will notice that now it's much easier. Feel the forehead, surface of your head, back of your head. Surface of your head, back of your head, forehead. Surface of your head, back of your head, forehead. Now feel the three components as one, as if you have put on a helmet. Keep your gaze raised upward, the tongue rolled back. Spread your fingers, put them on your head, and feel the size of the head. Remember these sensations. Feel the size of the head. Your fingers feel the head, its surface, this ball, this sphere. Remember these sensations. Feel the size of the head. Feel it with your fingers. It's a new perception. Your eyes are closed and raised up. The tongue is rolled back. Feel the size of the head. Feel the size of the head with your fingers. Now feel your fingers and hands with the surface of your head. Feel the head that feels your fingers touching it. Feel your head with your fingers. Feel the size of the head with your fingers. Feel the pressure of your fingers upon your head. Lower your hands. Try to feel the size of the head, forehead, back of the head, spine. Forehead, back of the head, and spine. Breathe naturally. Breathing happens by itself. Keep your gaze raised and your tongue rolled back. Feel the forehead, back of the head, spine, its entire length. To feel the entire length of the spine, first feel your upper body, the torso. Now stretch your legs forward slowly. Let's energize the legs. Stretch your legs forward. Keep your back as even as possible. Your hands can rest in your lap or on your thighs. You can turn them dorsal side down. Tense the thighs half power. Feel the tension in both legs. Tense the gastrocnemius muscles, the calf. Tense your feet and pull the toes towards the body. Try to feel the tension in both legs, half power, from your thighs to the toes. Keep your eyes raised and your tongue rolled back. Try to feel what you call legs. Be aware that the divine power is where your attention is. Be aware that this is the divine power. This is our nature by which we exist. We are created from this power. All the elements of this body belong to this power. This power belongs to all the elements of our body. Now, point your toes. Feel the changes. Keep your eyes raised and your tongue rolled back. Pull the toes towards the body again. Try to feel the changes in this position. Circle the feet clockwise and counterclockwise. Do it slowly so that you feel the changes. I'll say it again, this is not a physical exercise. We energize our body parts through directing our attention and awareness. Circle the feet in the other direction. Do it slowly and consciously. Well, pull the toes towards the body again. Try to feel the body temple in this position when your legs are half tense. Consciously keep them tense. Fully relax the legs. Feel the changes. Tense the right leg while keeping the left one relaxed. Tense it half power. Relax the left leg to the maximum possible extent. Feel the difference in the sensations. Relax the leg. Now tense the left leg while keeping the right one relaxed. Feel the difference in the sensations. This practice will help you quickly activate the neural connections and your brain and consciously manage the processes. Relax. Fully relax both legs. Feel the changes. Breathe normally. Slowly pull your legs toward the body. Remain in this state. Return to starting position. You can sit in the lotus or half lotus position. You can sit cross-legged or in siddhasana. Whatever is comfortable for you. You can sit on the edge of a chair or a stool. The important thing is to keep your back straight, because realization happens inside the spine. Feel the forehead, the surface of your head, the back of your head. Feel the spine, its entire length. to the maximum possible extent. Feel your shoulders, both arms, torso, thighs, knees, toes. Feel the whole body temple. Feel all parts of the body equally in this position. Be aware of the presence of the almighty power from your toes to the top of your head. Breathe normally. Breathe naturally. Breathing happens by itself. Keep gazing upwards. Feel the forehead, back of the head, and spine. Raise your arms up and spread your fingers wide. Feel the space in which you are. Feel all body parts equally from toes to fingertips. While feeling the space, sense all body parts equally. Bend and unbend your fingers. Do it slowly and consciously, as if you were doing it for the first time. This is not a simple finger gymnastics. We are activating our brain and its parts. We are energizing ourselves. Energy flows where attention goes. Squeeze and stretch your fingers slowly and consciously. Observe the very subtle processes that are taking place at this moment. Keeping your eyes raised and your tongue rolled back, bend and straighten your elbows while squeezing and stretching your fingers. Try to feel all subtle changes that happen in your body when you perform this energizing practice. Do not invent or imagine anything, but observe. Our task is to feel, to shift attention from the mental plane to feelings. Try your best not to analyze and learn to feel. Do it consciously and slowly, so that you have all the time you need to watch the processes that are happening in your body right now while feeling your forehead, back of the head, spine, body temple. To observe yourself squeezing, stretching, bending, and straightening your hands and arms. Feel the space you are in. Keep gazing upward and pushing your tongue a little farther backward. Lower your arms slowly, returning to starting position. Straighten up your spine. The forehead, back of the head, the entire length of the spine, the whole body temple. It's important to focus on the area of the forehead, back of the head, spine, and your entire body. Perceive everything you feel now from the head to toes as the holy presence of the almighty power manifested in the flesh. The body temple is the Creator's temple. It's the presence of the sublime mind, of a superpower. The universal mind is present here and now. The Creator has manifested Himself from head to toes. He is within us. He is around us. He is us, and we are Him. Lower the head down and straighten up the spine. Your head is hanging loose.
Почувствуйте изменения в этом положении.
Feel the changes in this
Наблюдайте за
position.
ощущениями, которые возникают.
Observe your sensations.
Медленно вращаем головой по часовой стрелке.
Rotate your head clockwise. Raise your head from left
Вверх,
to
слева,
right.
направо. Вращаем.
Do it without tension, but rolling the head as far back as possible.
Вращаем по часовой
Rotate it
стрелке.
clockwise.
Глаза по-прежнему удерживаются вверх.
Keep gazing upward. The tongue rolled back.
Назад. Делайте осознанно.
Do it consciously.
Мы присутствуем
We
в
are
том, что мы
present
делаем.
in what we are doing.
Там, где ваше
The
внимание,
divine power is where your attention is.
Выполняете техники.
You perform techniques.
Не нужно
Don't
думать,
think
что
they are
это
simple
простые
exercises,
упражнения, потому что ваша концентрация, ваше сознательное удержание глаз вверх,
because when you are focused, when you are consciously gazing upward and sensing your forehead, back of the head and spine,
дарует вам
you are expanding the
возможности,
capabilities of your
новые
brain,
возможности,
activating the neural networks, awakening super qualities.
нейронные сети, пробуждает сверхкачество. Вращаем в другую сторону.
Circle the feet in the other direction.
Также эта крия, сознательно выполняемая,
When this kriya is performed consciously, it expands your throat channel that is usually rather narrow.
достаточно узкий в обычных условиях. Поэтому сознательно
That's why,
практикуем, мы
when we
делаем его
practice
шире.
consciously, we make it wider.
Исходное положение.
Return to
Садимся,
starting position.
поднимаем
Lift your head back to the starting position.
голову в исходное положение, глаза вверх.
Keep your
язык
gaze
назад,
raised and your tongue
голову
rolled
затылок,
back.
вся длина
Your
пояса,
forehead, the entire length of the spine,
телесный
the
фронт.
body temple.
Чувствуете
Feel
равномерно
all
все
parts
части
of your
тела.
body equally.
Наклон головы в
Tilt your
правую
head to
сторону.
the right.
Почувствуйте разницу
Feel
между
the
правой и
difference
левой
between the
частями.
right and the left parts of the neck and throat.
Разница в
The
ощущениях.
difference in the sensations.
Исходное положение.
Return to starting position.
Вытягиваем
Stretch
позвоночник
your spine up
в левую сторону.
to the left.
Почувствуйте
Feel
разницу
the
в
difference
ощущениях
between
между
how
правой
you
и
sense the
левой
right
частями шеи.
and the left parts of the neck and throat.
Исходное положение.
Return to starting position.
Поднимаем плечи
Lift the shoulders slowly,
медленно вверх. Максимальная
the
амплитуда.
maximum amplitude. Move them forward,
Вперед,
lower
вниз,
them, move backward,
назад,
lift them
вверх.
up.
Чувствуйте шейный, грудной отдел.
Feel the cervical and thoracic
Это
spine.
поможет вам
It will help you preserve the sensation of your spine in the cervical and thoracic
позвоночника
sections.
в области шейного и грудных отделов. Взгляд по-прежнему сознательно вверх.
Consciously keep your eyes raised, the tongue rolled back. Move your shoulders in the other direction.
Все, что я сейчас вам
All
объясняю,
I'm
это
explaining to you now is the basic principle of body energization. How the body is energized, I'll explain later. Now we only feel. We learn to feel different parts of the body. In order to consciously send the energy to any point of the body temple, you must learn to feel all body parts equally. Return to starting position. Your consciousness must reach any point of the body temple. Every atom must be saturated with your consciousness and attention. The divine power is where your attention is. Raise your arms up slowly and spread your fingers wide. Feel the space, sensations. Be aware of your ultimate goal. What are you living for? What helps you evolve? What do you practice for? What is your life purpose? Feel the body temple in this position from fingertips to toes. Lower your arms, relaxing your fingers, hands, forearms, and shoulders. Keep your eyes raised and your tongue rolled back. Feel the forehead, back of the head, and spine. Cross your fingers. Place your hands on the back of your head and feel your body temple in this position. Do not apply pressure to your neck and back of the head. Just feel it with your palms. Feel your entire body temple from head to toes in this position and be aware of the presence of the Almighty Power manifested in the flesh. Bend your upper body to the left. While doing it, it's important to stretch the spine up. Feel the entire length of the spine, all muscles along the spine, your bones, ribs, from the ilium to your head. Feel all your body parts equally in this position. Perceive everything you feel here and now as the holy presence of the Almighty Power manifested in the flesh. Return slowly to the starting position. Stretch your spine even further up. Consciously keep your eyes raised. Hold your tongue rolled back. Bend your upper body to the right. Bend your upper body to the right while stretching the spine up. Lower, middle, and upper back. Spine in the center. Feel your forehead, back of the head, the entire length of the spine. Perceive everything you feel in this position as the presence of the Almighty Power. the power manifested in the flesh here and now.
Здесь и сейчас. Исходное положение.
Return to starting position.
Медленно,
Do it very slowly.
Не давите на
Do not
область
apply
затылка,
pressure to
шеи.
your neck and back of the head.
Сидим ровно.
Sit up straight.
Расслабьте
Relax your
желудочную
stomach
клетку.
and chest.
Макушка
The top
тянется
of
к
the head
небесам.
reaches up toward the sky.
Вытягивая
Stretching your
позвоночник
spine
вверх,
up,
прогибаемся
hollow your
назад.
back.
Почувствуйте лоб.
Feel your forehead, back of the head, the entire length of the spine in this position.
Почувствуйте нижнюю и среднюю
Feel the
верхнюю
lower,
части
middle,
спины.
and upper back, spine in the center.
Позвоночник по центру. Этот телесный храм
This body temple is the Creator's temple.
это есть
It's the energy
энергия
compressed in the
в сжатом
flesh.
виде в форме тела. Исходное положение.
Return to starting position.
Выравниваем
Sit up
корпус.
straight.
Чувствуем изменения.
Feel the changes.
Наблюдаем за
Observe the
ощущениями
sensations
в теле.
in the body.
Не размышляем,
Don't
не
ponder on it.
анализируем.
Don't analyze it. Don't try to invent or visualize anything. Just learn to
Просто
feel what you
учимся
have.
чувствовать то, чем мы обладаем. Равномерно все части
All
тела.
body parts equally.
Опускаем голову вниз.
Lower your head down.
Совершаем поклон. Вперед.
Bow forward. No jerking, no
Без
pressure.
рывков,
Be
давления,
very
очень
careful.
аккуратно. В этом положении все, что вы
Perceive
чувствуете,
everything you feel in this position
воспринимайте
as the
как
holy
высокое
presence.
присутствие. От пальцев ног до макушки головы.
Everything you feel from your toes to the top of your head is the presence of the Creator's almighty power.
Можем слегка развернуть
You can
корпус в левую
slightly turn your
сторону.
upper body to the left.
Стремиться к левому
Try to
колену.
reach your left knee with your forehead.
Разверните корпус в правую сторону.
Turn your upper body to the right. Feel the
Разницу
changes and the
ощущения.
difference in your sensations.
К центру.
To the center.
Мы также учимся любить все.
We also learn to love whatever we feel, because everything is a power manifested and compressed in the flesh.
В виде в форме тела. Медленно возвращаемся в
Return
исходное
slowly
положение.
to the starting position.
Поднимаем корпус.
Lift the upper body,
Голову вверх.
raise your head.
Макушка
The
тянется к
top of the
небесам.
head reaches up toward the sky.
Глаза смотрят вверх,
Gaze
язык
upward,
назад, чуть
push the
дальше.
tongue a bit further backward.
Чувствуйте изменения,
Feel
которые
the
возникают в
changes
теле.
that are taking place in your body.
Наблюдая за
When watching your
ощущениями,
sensations,
осознавайте, что всё,
be
что вы
aware that
чувствуете,
everything you feel is the presence of
это
the
есть
Creator's
присутствие
almighty
всемогущей
power.
силы Творца. Он внутри,
He is
он
within
вокруг,
us.
он
He is
сверху, он
around
снизу.
us. He is above us. He
Он
is
есть
below
выраженная
us.
сила,
He
он
is the
есть
manifested
телесный храм.
power. He is the body
Творец
temple.
есть всё
He is
во всём.
all in all.
Существует
Only
только
one
один
element
элемент.
exists,
Это
and
Творец.
it is the Creator.
Опустите руки
Lower
вниз.
your hands.
Сядьте в исходное
Return to
положение.
starting position.
Почувствуйте ваш
Feel
телесный
your
храм.
body temple.
Вы можете
You can
заметить, что
notice that now
ощущение
you perceive
восприятия
your
тела
body
изменилось.
differently.
Дыхание свободно.
Breathe normally. Breathing happens by
Вдох
itself.
и выдох случаются. Чувствуйте лоб,
Feel the
затылок,
forehead,
позвоночник,
back of the
целую
head,
длину,
the entire length of your
телесный
spine,
храм.
body temple.
Позвольте этой силе, которая создает снова и снова,
Let this power that creates this life again and again awake in every atom, in every cell, in every organ of this body temple.
в каждом органе в этом телесном храме. Это титаническая энергия, сила,
It's a Titanian energy, a power that
защищающая,
protects,
сохраняющая,
sustains, and
восстанавливающая.
recovers again and again.
Снова и
It
снова
wants to
хочет
be
быть
expressed
выражена
through
через нас.
us.
Пробудите сознание в
Awaken your
каждой клетке,
consciousness
в
in every
каждом
cell,
атоме.
in every atom.
Пробудите эту силу в
Awaken
каждом
this
атоме,
power in
превратите
every atom.
электроны
Turn the electrons in your
вашего тела в
body
жизнь
to
электрона.
lifetrons.
Энергизация
You
телесного
can
храма
energize your
силы
body
возможна
temple in a
тогда,
seated
когда вы
pose when you are
осознаете
aware
высочайший
of the
принцип,
ultimate principle while
чувствуя
feeling
равномерно
all
все
of your body
части
parts
тела,
equally.
работая с какой-то
When you are
частью
aware
тела,
of the presence of the almighty power while working with a part of your body, for example, arms or legs or upper body,
осознаете присутствие всемогущей силы. В самом действии, пребывая сознательно, исполняя действие как священное действие, вы наделяете
when you perform a sacred act consciously, you make your cell consciousness aware of the supreme
осознаванием
presence.
высочайшего присутствия. Вы
You
пробуждаете в
awaken the
каждой
holy
клетке, в
presence in
каждом
every
атоме,
cell, in every atom,
части
in every
тела,
part of your body that you work
в
with.
каждом органе, с которым работаете, а там, где ваше внимание, там
The
божественная
divine
сила.
power is where your attention is.
Вы пробуждаете
You awaken
святое
the holy
присутствие.
presence.
Мы есть то, о чем мы думаем.
We are what we think.
Думая об этом
When
телесном
you think
храме
of the
как
body temple as the
храме
Creator's
Творца
temple
или
or
храме
God's
Бога,
temple, your
где
spine is the
позвоночник
altar.
есть алтарь, где ваш головной мозг, продолговатый мозг,
And you perceive your
область
brain,
затылка,
medulla oblongata, back of the
спинной мозг
head,
внутри
center of the
позвоночника,
head,
как единое
spinal
целое
cord within the
воспринимается нами
spine,
как
as one whole, as the divine cave or the vessel
божественный
of transcendental
сосуд или
power.
сосуд трансцендентальной силы. Каждый раз, когда вы практикуете,
Every time when you practice and perceive your brain, medulla oblongata and spinal cord as the vessel of transcendental power,
осознавая
being aware of the holy presence from head to toes, consciously keeping your gaze upward, tongue rolled back,
язык отведенным назад, чувствуя все части тела
feeling all
равномерно,
your body parts equally, and those body parts you are working with in the correct position, state, and perception,
правильном
you energize your body.
положении, состоянии и восприятии вы энергизируете тело. Энергизация – это правильное
Energization is the right attitude.
чувство,
Feel your perception, infusion, concentration.
внушение, сосредоточение. При хорошей энергизации
If your
тела
body is
возникает
properly
естественное
energized,
состояние
you will
тишины и
naturally
покоя.
enter a state of peace and quiet.
Это базовый уровень
This is the
медитации.
basic level of meditation.
Сейчас мы чувствуем лоб,
Now we feel the forehead, back of the head, and the entire length of the spine. Sense the entire body temple equally, but focus more on the forehead, back of the head, and spine. These are the three elements of our consciousness, of the divine cave. The brain, spinal cord, medulla oblongata, with the projection points in the forehead, back of the head, and spine. When we feel the entire body temple while focusing on the divine cave and being aware of the Holy Presence, we practice the presence of the Creator from head to toes. Kriya is an action that we perform on our path to the ultimate goal while being completely aware. Kriya is a sacred act that liberates us from karma, both negative and positive. Kriya is an aspect of the presence of the sublime power of one of the avatars that came to earth 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. His name is Krishna.
Почти 5-6 тысяч лет назад по имени Кришна, где биджа кр – это крия и карма. Священное действие
Bija kr means kriya and karma, a sacred act consciously performed in the state of aspiration. When being devoted and open to the higher, when the sublime mind and you are one, breaks up the karma chains. We practice the presence of the Creator from head to toes, here and now, beyond the past and future, at the present moment. The correct basic posture in which you are aware of everything I have told you about today is the way to the right energization. With every practice, your brain will redesign, your neural networks will awaken, and actively reprogram or create new connections. Your cerebral hemispheres and interhemispheric connections will start to work in concert.
Ваша система, где мозг, управляя всеми, после себя,
the system where the brain that manages all principles expressing your body temple, starting with the neural networks and ending with the elements that make up the body, will function as one whole, in sync. Desynchronous functioning invites diseases. Synchronous work that you consciously observe is how you manage your reality. Be aware of your forehead, back of the head, spine, body temple. Keep your eyes raised and your tongue rolled back. Be aware. Be conscious from head to toes, and being aware, feel the Supreme Presence from your toes to the top of your head. Consciously practice the Creator's presence in every body part, in every cell, in every atom. This is what energization is. This is the right attitude to the body temple that awakens the supreme powers and capabilities. This is how we energize ourselves in a seated position. Now, take several deep belly breaths. While keeping the focus on the forehead, back of the head, spine. Clench your fingers into a fist, then stretch them. Open and close your hand. Send currents to all body parts. Pull your spine even higher. The top of the head reaches up towards the sky. Straighten shoulders, spread your wings. Take one more deep breath. Hold your breath for several seconds. Feel the changes in your body. Breathe out and relax your body. This body temple is the temple of God. The spine is the altar. The brain, medulla oblongata, and spinal cord are the divine repository. When you direct your consciousness to the spine, you shorten the distance between God and yourself. When consciously directing your mind into your body, you shorten the distance between God and yourself. When I say God, I mean the sublime mind, absolute power, universal mind, and its cosmic consciousness. The purpose of Kriya is to attain cosmic consciousness, dissolve the limited human consciousness in the limitless cosmic mind, and become aware of this principle of unity. In yoga, it's expressed as Advaita Vedanta, non-dual consciousness, perception of the single principle, I am the one who is. In this state, you can be in the world while being always aware that you are not of this world. I wish that everyone who is on this journey gain awareness and attain unity as soon as possible. We try to do what we can and will always help those who seek our help. I would like to say some words about one of the greatest yogi of our time, Swami Yogananda.
Йогинов нашего времени – это Свами Йогананда, Парамаханса Йоганандаджи.
Paramahansa Yoganandaji left us his greatest work, Autobiography of a Yogi. Everything you will read in this book is absolutely true and real. His consciousness, his limitless mind, his life that is a perfect example of how to attain the unity are described in this book. I recommend you to read it so that you get a better understanding of what Kriya Yoga is. A special attention to Chapter 26. You can start with this Chapter 26, The Science of Kriya Yoga. You can read this chapter and then the rest of the book. For those who are listening to me now, or will listen or watch the video later, or try to practice, it's a great opportunity to attain liberation during their lifetime. This knowledge is available. What you need is activating your power of aspiration through understanding. Opportunities are available. You can find other materials on our website, Imram Kriya. A whole team works for you. I would like to say that they are doing it quite successfully. I mean that many of them are practitioners too. You know some of them. In doing this, they are completely selfless. They do it out of their understanding that the world must be one whole. So I am very thankful to them and to every one of you. I wish you success along this path. Jai Shri Sai Ram.